What is up, everybody? It is your boy Speed here, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 mistakes that every single Dota player from every bracket and every role can apply instantly for instant MMR. So if you're excited to start to get on the right road to gaining MMR, and you feel like, hey, I need to make some changes, here they are. I got the video for you, and you need to smash the like button for good luck. It's very important that you do that. Smash that like button, scroll down, click the button, then we'll get into the video, but until then, I'm going to put the video on pause, and we're going to wait for you to click the like button. Also, sign up to the gameleap website. Now let's get into the first point, which is telling themselves that they have perfected something recently, and I'm not going to name names, but I do like to use real-life examples of things that actually happened, so I'm not just speaking out of my butt. Someone on Discord messaged me that they are relatively low MMR, and, they were like, oh, what should I do to get better? I give them something. I'm like, oh, you could try this, right? I think this is a very important thing to fix. Know what they said? They said that they don't have problems there. How? How is that possible? How could you not have an issue? Guys, you haven't perfected anything. You're not good at anything. And I know that's rough. It's like, Speed, that's so mean. You're so cynical. No, it's just like how I like to look at the game to get better. I think 10K players make plenty of mistakes. I think that professional Dota players could get much better, right? They could get much better, and they continue to get much better every single year. Watch TI5 compared to TI9. Watch TI1 compared to TI2. Bro, people get better. You're never as good as you think, and most importantly, you've never perfected something, right? So if you're trying to get better at Dota, this is like the first point, a very key standard one. Fix the fundamentals, because you have never gotten good enough. Always get better at last hitting. When I was 2K MMR and 3K MMR, one of my favorite goals that I think helped me so much to get to the next level, or over time get to the next level, not instantly necessarily, but over time get to the next level, was I told myself, I'm going to get 4 CS and 4 denies for 3 waves in a row. Until I got that, I wasn't satisfied. And I would keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And every single game, I would try to stop my opponent, get every CS and deny, because I looked at it as a mini game. I broke it down, and instead of just saying, oh, I didn't pop my BKB at the 25-minute mark, that's why I lost. No, I was like, I didn't last it well enough that game. I didn't get, 4 denies in each wave. Very high goals, high expectations, but that's how you get to high MMR. You haven't perfected something, you gotta keep going. You can always get better. Number 2, this one plagues Dota. And please, hear me out before you skip the video and you're like, Speed, I don't want to hear it. Speed, don't you make videos talking about heroes all the time? Speed, you're a hypocrite. The second point is thinking switching your hero pool will make you gain large amounts of sustainable MMR. Now, picking a hero such as Snapfire on release, right, when Snapfire's ultimate did like 200 damage per glob, would give you a higher win rate. It would make playing Dota much easier. I think we all could agree on that. Or Winter Wyvern, when Winter Wyvern first came out and was absolutely broken. Picking those heroes would make you gain MMR, like in winning at a 62% win rate. There's no denying that. But it's not sustainable MMR. A lot of the time, what players like to do is they like to play Dota as a gamble. They gamble on a hero, they say, oh, I think this is good here, or, I heard it in a video. They play it for 20, 30 games, on and off. They win quite a bit of MMR because it's a strong hero in the meta. The hero gets nerfed, and all of a sudden, they drop back to their original MMR. Sound familiar? Well, yeah, because it's happened to all of us. I've done it, everyone's done it, but be careful. Guys, switching your hero pool will not make you gain substantial amounts of MMR, right? And definitely not sustainable MMR. It will go away quickly. So please, when you're trying to get better, fix your mentality from I need a new hero to I need to get better at laning, my mid game, my rotations, my smoke ganking, when I take Roshan, the items that I buy, the skill builds that I'm going, how much pressure I'm putting in lane, how many denies I've gotten, how many last hits I've gotten, right? How quickly am I casting my spells? Am I using my mana boost off cooldown? Have I dropped my mana boots and then use my soul ring? These type of things. Number 3 is that players do not copy high MMR players. I say this in my videos all the time. Copy high MMR players. How in the world do I coach a bunch of 2K, 3K players and still you're going the wrong items? Just buy a bunch of stats. Which is actually a future point. But guys, just copy the pros. I shouldn't say just copy the pros. It's not that easy. You don't just watch a pro game and say, oh, I figured it out. I can now become a 10K MMR player. When I say copy the pros, it's a gradual progression. It's something that I used the entire time from my 2K to 7.5K MMR journey. I looked at a pro game and I would say, what are they doing well? And I would implement that 1 or 2 things. I didn't necessarily figure out how Havels was playing Clinks in 2017 or 16 and just magically become as good as him. No, but I took aspects of his gameplay, and I've taken aspects from every pro's gameplay. And that is why I can even teach you guys on most heroes. It's because you learn about everything over time when you watch and copy pros. Next up, kind of getting back to the point about the stats, and that is, do not buy, and most players, the mistake they make is that they only buy DPS or no small items. Stick, raindrops, clarities, mangoes, fairy fires, branches, wand, they're arguably the best item in the game. Knolls, wraithbands, bracers, they're in a really good spot right now. So buy them. Why do pros buy small items? Why have pros been buying small items for the last 150 patches? It's because they're good, and they always have been good. And yet I'll still see some support with Brown Boots Aether Lens, and that is it, at the 20-minute mark. Bruh, where are your Tranquils? Where is your Windlace? Where are your Clarities? Right? Where is your Smoke? Where are your Sentries, your Wards? These small items that impact Dota just as much as items that cost 1,000, 1,200 gold. Right? They are so important. If you're a core, why aren't you buying 2 bracers to win your laning stage? Why are you rushing phase boots on Clinks? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then the second half of that is I'll literally see people play Ricky and buy a Deso. Bruh, have you seen Miracle play Ricky? He buys Diffusal with a ton of stats, like 2 Wraithbands, a wand, and then buys like a Manta. Almost every single time he buys a Manta, sometimes a BKB, a defensive item. Because when you do a lot of damage in Dota, you know how you do even more damage? The correct answer is not buy more damage, it's buy an item that lets you deal damage, an item that keeps you alive, right? So if you are playing Faceless Void and you have a Mask of Madness and a Maelstrom, you don't need a Mjolnir because a BKB will let you actually hit people with the Mask of Madness and Maelstrom. And that needs to be your mentality. Next up at number 5 is tilting off the draft. I'm going to keep this one simple because there's nothing to say. But if your team picks Pudge, don't give up. Even though the hero is in a bad spot and so is Lion and so is a bunch of other supports, it doesn't mean that you can't win. No hero in Dota at the moment has below a 40% win rate. That's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. You can always win. Do not tilt your team. Do not expect people to pick what you want. Play your hero, and no matter what draft you have, if you play well enough, you can win. Do people like hearing that? No, because they just want some cop-out excuse like, instead of picking Crystal Maiden, my position 5 should have picked a Bane so we could grab the enemy Pangolier, and then we could have killed him in the mid-game, and then, you know, we would have been able to transition that into a 25-minute Roshan that we could have smoked out of to pick off the enemy Phantom Assassin, and then we could go high ground, and then we probably would have won, but that didn't happen. No, you probably played like trash in every single aspect of the game. Number 6 is not subbing to GameLeap. What's wrong with you? It's in the description down below. Do you want to see full coaching sessions by your boy Speed where I help people go from 2.7 to 3.1k MMR in a week by just giving them some mentality shifts? Yeah, I posted that session on Twitter. I literally showed my student 8 wins, bruh, in a row. In his last like 25 games, he's like 21-4. I'm not kidding. Go sub the GameLeap. You're gonna get that content over there. It's gonna help you get to the next level. Stop trying to rely on yourself. Number 7, thinking that ganks or lack of ganks are the reason you lost the lane. I see this most commonly with mid laners and safe laners. Mid laners, if they get ganked once by the position 4, they complain that the reason they lost mid was because of the singular gank. Now, if you get ganked 3 times in a row and die because of it, it might be your positioning and item builds, but you could argue that, alright, at that point your game's been griefed. But most of the time, if you are playing from the averages of 0 to 5k MMR and you think you've lost your lane because of ganks, you're wrong. You likely lost them because you weren't doing what you needed to up until the point of the gank, and you probably fell behind, which allowed the gank to be very effective. However, if you were winning the lane and you were casting a bunch of spells and you're like crushing your opponent and you get ganked and die, you know what happens when you TP back in? You're gonna continue to win the lane because ganks don't do that much. The gold gets split, the XP gets split. It's not that bad. And so guys, please, do not complain or think that you've lost your lane because of ganks. Look at every little thing you're doing. Are you using creep aggro properly? Are you tanking way too much damage? Are you positioning correctly? Have you eaten tangos off cooldown? Have you popped yourself at the right time? Did you buy a stick? Right? These are the type of things. Next up at number 8 is when people expect learning to be a fast process. All of the things I've told you in this video matter. You have to learn them over time. I have over 10k hours in Dota. I don't think I could have gotten to high MMR without that much. Right? It's typical saying you need 10,000 hours to become a professional in anything. And frankly, I don't even know if that's really that true. I think it's much more than that. I might have 10,000 hours in Dota, but I have at least 15,000 watching / playing, maybe more. And that's what I mean, guys. If you're newer to Dota, or been playing for a while, but you have the wrong mentalities and you're just always tilted, learning can be a slow process, but don't worry, it will happen. If you have the patience and you have the right ideas, you'll go up over time. Number 9 is to never play side lanes. This is something that plagues low MMR games in particular. My definition of low MMR games is like 0 to 3k MMR. Of course, it could apply in even 8k MMR games in certain situations. There's always similarities from bracket to bracket, just Dota after all. But what people do is they often group up mid, or they just group up in general. Guys, it is very important if you're trying to create a net worth lead that you go for pickoffs, because what they do is they prevent you from having to commit an absurd amount of resources to get a kill. And so when you get a pickoff, you get a kill, it costs you very little, assuming you smoked with one other person or you ran around with one other person, and then you farm that area. And so you get gold, you commit little resources, and then instead of using the resources on the kill, you can use them to farm. And that's how you gain a lot of net worth. That's how you become the top net worth in your game in no time. Right? So make sure you guys do that. Really make sure you play in side lanes and look for pickoffs. For some reason, all people know how to do is group up and team fight. If you learn how to split up the map and drag people around the map using good map awareness and don't get picked off but get pickoffs when doing it, you're gonna win a lot more games. And finally, at number 10, you didn't like the video? What? Dude, what do you do? No, I'm kidding. But you gotta take every single game seriously. Cliche, but true. And we'll end it there. Take every game seriously. If you want to gain MMR, you can't play when you're drunk. If you want to gain MMR, you can't play when you're tilted out of your mind. And if you want to gain MMR, you can't play on 2 hours of sleep. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please do like, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one, and go gain some MMR. See ya. Before you leave, just want to say a quick message. If you're trying to get better at Dota, or you just enjoyed that video, I know this is pretty general, and you're gonna hear this quite a bit from me, but I recommend you sign up to gameleap.com. Why? Because I put a lot of effort into the content over there, and generally the effort I do there is different from the content you're gonna see here on YouTube. It is different. In fact, I usually go a lot more in depth on topics or into niche topics that help you get to the next level even faster, because on YouTube, I often have to keep it more mainstream, and that's even why I'm putting it at the end of this YouTube video. That's why this is at the end, because a lot of people just watch 5 minutes, they skip through just for like the dopamine spike. But if you are interested in actually getting better at Dota, I recommend you go to the description down below, get your discount right now by clicking the link, sign up, use the discount code that you're gonna see there, and I hope to see you there right now. So click it, and yeah, thanks for watching.